Welcome, everyone.
Ciao, welcome to the YouVe Show.
Welcome, everyone. I'm glad that all of you guys are here with us today for our second episode of the YouVe Show, the home of all English-speaking Juventus fans. We're so thankful for all the people that are in the chat, and most of it for our two guests once again today, Marcin and Roman. I'm Martina, one of your hosts, and next to me, Giuseppe, our second host. Hi, everyone. And our two guests, once again, Top in Stock. You can just present yourself real quick.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Marcin. If most of you know me by my handle on Twitter as PLUventino, I'm the co-host of Top in Stock, a podcast about all things football, from boots, culture, apparel, all that kind of fun stuff. Come check us out. Come give us a chat if you ever want to be on an episode or want to have any cool topics to chat with us. Shoot me a message. All right. Hey, guys.
Thank you, Marcin. And our second guest is Roman from JuveTherapy.
Indeed. Thank you so much for having me again. And as Martina said, my name is Roman from YouVe I do my own YouTube channel with lots of stuff going on, doing primarily, post-match and during the match live reactions, and also, small contents here and there. But there will be some cool stuff coming up soon. So please follow my YouVe channel on YouTube, and of course, Twitter and Instagram at YouVe.
Yeah, as they say, make sure to follow them both and subscribe to JuveTherapy, and make sure to listen to Top Bin Stock. Now, let's get started with the agenda. Go ahead, Giuseppe.
Agenda. Let me share the screen of the agenda because that's an important one. So we have in the second episode, the segment, it's always taking a bit of time to organize everything, but I'm start to be used to it, so it's going faster and faster. So as we always do, we have the first part, and you see it on the left of the screen. You have the coaches. We just did the coaches in a few seconds, that the presentation of the people that will present, and that's why after presenting the structure, I will do a big asking for all of you that wants to join us. But wait for that. After the coaches, we start with the attacking part. We will review Juve Milan 0-0, the semi-final return game. We will go to the midfield, where we speak about a few topics, and then we will have a game with Roman and Marcin speaking about the defense. That will be the last part, where we will actually topics, and then we will have a game with we will speak about the defense part. We will actually prepare the game versus Napoli. And then we finish with the goalkeeper. That's actually the outro. But around all the show, and that's really important for us, we have the supporters. The supporters are the people that are in the chat. So ask your question, go for it. Try to have topic-related questions so that we can take them, and we will try to answer as much as possible. So that's about the structure of the show. Now, the big question that I have for you guys, and I will open my second chart. It's this one. Let me show you. It's always playing. Is that we have a big question for you guys. We are looking for more coaches to join the show. We are working on a list. We have already a few people that ask to be our show coaches in the next shows. I will not reveal the names, but we will have also different people. Roman and Marcin are always welcome, and it's not the last time that they are here, so they will be again on the show later. But we are asking for a lot of people. So if you never did YouTube, whatever, but you love Juventus and you speak English, you can join. If you already did YouTube, you can also join. So join us. Write an email at our email that we will post later. Find us on on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. And we will also show you that we opened the Discord app. So that's for later. But now, speaking about the most important thing, and what is it? The attack part, where we'll review Juve Milan.
Yes. So as we probably all watched the game, Juve played the second leg against Milan. The game ended 0-0. So I want to talk a little bit with both of you guys, and also anyone that in the chat wants to say their thoughts about the game. So let's show some stats about that game. Definitely not the best game we played, definitely not, but it was after a long period of time. So in a way, it was a little bit expected that we didn't perform perfectly. So here are the stats. We had most ball possession. We had so many shots, at 7 on target and 0 goals. That's definitely a problem. We've been having that problem for a period of time, and this game definitely showed that. So passes, we had so many passes, very, very good. I'm impressed with that. And I just want to ask Marcin and Roman, what are your thoughts on the first half of the game? Let's focus on the first half first.
Sure. So the first half is what I like to say a tale of two halves, kind of like how Juve have played all season. I thought like the first 20 minutes, the team was attacking. They looked very like wanting to attack. They were pressing the ball. They were winning the ball back in like the top end of the pitch, the final third, if you want to call it that. And then in the second 20 minutes, it just kind of like they lost kind of like the ideas that they had in the first 20 minutes. It was just like a completely kind of like the same thing we've seen all season. It was just a tale of two halves, essentially. First 20 minutes, it was just very attacking, very pressing. You saw the effort. You saw that they wanted to score goals. Like in the second minute of the match, we almost had a goal. So, I mean, you saw that the team was pressing and wanted to score. And then in the second 20 minutes, it was the exact opposite. They were kind of just dropping back a little bit, just doing a little sideways passing. And there wasn't anything that was being done really creatively besides like Douglas Costa trying to make some runs. He was very good throughout that entire first half, just trying to do something with the ball, trying to take people one-on-one. So it kind of was like I said, it was kind of like a tale of two halves. You had Juve in the first 20 minutes were, I thought, very good. And then in the second half of that 20 minutes, they just looked like they didn't have any ideas how to score. And it was after the red card, which was funny because you thought that they have more space to score and more space and more opportunities. And that didn't happen really, which was weird. So yeah, like a tale of two halves of a half, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, Marcin basically said it all. But I got to say that also the red card, really focus on that because that's what changed the whole game. That's the worst thing that could happen for us, in my opinion, was the red card. Because if it was 11 against 11, a game would have been more open. A game would have been more unpredictable. But as soon as the red card came, Milan just shut down, sat back, and waited for our mistakes in the attacking phase. So as soon as we would lost the ball, they would go on the counterattack and go with 3 or 4 guys. And that's what they did maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times during the whole game. But especially for the first half, I mean, two different performances. And really, the red card screwed us over. And imagine if Cristiano had scored that penalty. That would have also changed the impact of the rest of the game as well. Then it would be 1-0, maybe no red card. So, everything happened in a very short space of time. It was in space of 1 minute that Ronaldo missed his PK and Rebic got sent off. So yeah, it was a strange first half. Yeah, it was.
Would you say, Marcin, that Ronaldo's penalty affected his performance and Juve's performance?
I don't think so. I think Ronaldo's been a professional at the highest level for like over a decade now. He's 35. I think he's played in huge finals. He missed a huge penalty when he was at Man United in a Champions League final. I think he's used to this kind of pressure and him missing a penalty. Like I said, he's been one of the best in the world for a really long time now. And at his age and how long he's played for, I think he kind of has that ability to shut out anything negative that happens during the course of a match. If he gets fouled, if he misses a penalty, if he misses a goal-scoring opportunity, I think he's really good at kind of just like shutting it out after it happens and then just focusing on the next thing. So I don't think it really affected him. I think it was just an overall contribution of everything that happened, kind of like what Roman said, like the red card and then Milan just kind of sitting back for the next hour essentially and just there just wasn't enough space with 10 men behind the ball essentially at that point for Ronaldo and the rest of the attack to really have room to work. So I don't really think it was the penalty miss. I think it was just the red card was more or less affecting us and kind of making the game a lot smaller than it really needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it affected him a little bit, in my opinion. I mean, it was an easy way for us to be a goal up, and it didn't happen. And basically after that, as you both said, Juve went downhill. Also, the red card definitely affected a lot. We played much better with 11 against 11 than having Milan or one man down. But oh well, stuff happens. And one thing that, in my opinion, affected a lot were the substitutions. The first time that we made the 3 substitutions, this game was basically the first one that Juve or Sarri had the chances to make the 5 substitution in 3 stages, and he just went all the way out with 3 substitutions. The first time, I think around minute 62, around 62. I want to know what you guys thought about that crazy substitution. Go ahead, Giuseppe.
Before answering, because I wanted to say hello to all the people in chat. Also, we have I Love Football, we have Sufyan, we have Muslim, AG is there, we have a lot of people actually. We have Lucarum 92, we have Ali Beba, Juventina Dalel from Tunisia that just joined. Ciao, Juventina Dalel. We have a few people already in the chat, and that's the most important thing. So thank you for being there. That's the most important thing. I saw a nice question because Roman is doing some live reaction during the games, and we had a question from Muslim who was asking why Roma was so angry about CR7 after the game. We will talk about CR7, so Roman will for sure answer that question in a few minutes.
Oh yes,
I want to know that too. Yeah.
Second half, the subs.
Yeah.
Roman, you could take this one.
Well, gladly. Unfortunately, well, to be quite honest, it didn't make much difference. You know, we as the game passed on, there was just the tempo slowed down as further we got to that 60-minute point. So it was time to switch off, to sub off some guys and sub on some new ones. And initially, as I said in my live, I didn't have any issue with the changes because, I mean, we cannot risk Douglas Costa playing 90 minutes. That's fine. Miralem Pjanic was never going to play the full minutes just because everybody wanted to see Bentancur in that deep hole instead. And then you have, who was it, the last guy? I don't remember.
Rabiot.
Yeah, Rabiot came on, yeah, but who did he came off for? Matuidi. Yeah, okay. So Matuidi would have played probably the whole 90 minutes. But the thing is that we substituted the slowest guys we have. Khedira was not going to add some intensity. For sure, not Rabiot. Bernardeschi thought had actually a decent substitution. Could have been used a bit more by CR7, but that's another topic. Also, I think that these types of substitutions are to be expected in this environment, in this situation that we are in right now. We are going to see the Sami Khediras, the Mattia Di Ciglios, the Aaron Rabiot, not because they are great substitutions, not because they will elevate the level, but just because we need fitness in our squad. That's it. So it's not going to be loved by people. It's not going to be praised, but I think it's more of a necessity rather than just a will of Sarri to just switch it around. And the fact is that we didn't even actually needed a goal. So there was no point bringing on, Primavera players who were attackers on the bench. It was perfectly fine by me. Of course, the intensity was an issue after the subs.
Would you have made those 3 at the same time, though?
Yeah.
I think that might have been the problem. Like maybe escalated them, either 2 out of the 3 or just 1 and then 2 and then another one.
That's why I say that the substitutions were more of a fitness-wise substitutions rather than the quality of the game. We needed goals. We needed to improve our stuff. Of course, that was a secondary wish from our fans. But first and foremost, I think that Sarri thought of fitness for our players. to get them in shape, to get them ready for the next game.
Mhm.
So I think that was more of a point. And the 3 at once, well, I mean, we had it in the back. Milan were never going to score. So, yeah.
What about you, Marcin?
I mean, if you read the cliff notes for Sarri's post-game conference, he said that it was a mistake that he made all 3 substitutions. And you're laughing because you read the same thing I did.
Yeah.
And he said that he was kind of like just wanting to do it just to do it, essentially. That's kind of what I got from the the cliff notes that I read. But yeah, like Sarri kind of said it best. Like the intensity in the match after he made those 3 subs dropped for the last 30 minutes. And yeah, doing 3 subs at once really changes like the dynamic of how a team plays, because it's 3 substitution. You're incorporating basically a third of a new team onto the pitch at once. So it doesn't really happen too often in football. I think if they spread out those substitutions, kind of like what you mentioned, it would have made a little more sense just from a tactical perspective and a game intensity perspective. But yeah, I like kind of to what Roman said, it's definitely a more of a fitness thing at this point. I know those 3 guys are going to come onto the pitch at some point. But yeah, Sarri said it best. He's like, it was a mistake to bring him on at the same time. The game intensity was dropped for the last 30 minutes. Then essentially it was just Juve passing it around and trying to kill off the game. But yeah, it's those 3 guys are going to come on. So Rabiot, Khedira, those type of players are going to be making their way onto the pitch. But yeah, those substitutions would have been better if they were spread out over, like, let's say 10, 15 minutes versus all 3 at once, which is what he said. And I kind of agree with him at that point, because I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think he got like a little bit crazy and took advantage of like this.
He was excited to do it for the first time. He's like, yeah, I can do it. Like,
exactly. Yeah. Now, probably for the next game, he's going to think a little bit more and maybe divide it, like, instead of 3 and 1, maybe like 2, 2 and 1. I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit crazy. Let's hope he doesn't make that again next match. He did make another substitution. So he did 3 and then 1. He substituted Danilo for Cuadrado. What did you think of Danilo's performance? You basically played the entire game. So what would you think? What do you have to say about his performance? Go ahead.
Can I?
Of course, you can always.
I loved him. I love Danilo. He played really, really well. We know that he's injury prone also, unfortunately, but I can say that he did a really great game. So we know that most of the time he played Cuadrado there in the back. But no, I have to admit, he played really concentrated. I was not even sure that he had 90 minutes in his legs, but he did, like, I believe 86 minutes at the end. I was really, really happy to see. Okay, he didn't brought up a lot in offensive game style of play, what Alexandro was doing a bit in the first 30 minutes. But yeah, he played well. I don't know if Marcin and Roman agree with me, but
yeah, I thought defensively, I thought he was really good. He was making tackles. He was tracking his man. The few times that Milan got forward, like, he was in great position to retrieve the ball and kind of win it back, which kind of allowed, and him kind of focusing more on the defensive end allowed Sandro to kind of push up and attack more on the left-hand side, which is what he did for most of the game. So yeah, kind of exactly kind of what you said. Like, I thought Danilo was very good defensively, and that allowed Sandro to push up and attack more on the left side. Which is kind of where we want to be attacking with Ronaldo and Sandro on that one left-hand side of the pitch. So yeah, I thought he played a really good game overall, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was starting in tomorrow's match as well.
We have a good question, from Dalel. Do you think that five subs things is a disadvantage for us? Go for it, Martina.
I think if used in a good way, it can be very positive, at least for now, since they haven't been practicing and playing really for a long time. I think if used properly, it can be very beneficial. Obviously not making the 3 substitutions that we did in minute 60, but making them more separated in a way. As Roman said, to keep the physique of the players, most of it.
We know why it started. It's because of the COVID, right? That was the intent from the federation, that it was supposed to be done because of it, just to avoid further cases. I don't know, but I can see the point from Dalel actually why this could be a disadvantage, because the fluidity, the understanding between the players, they will be limited now, because guys like like against Milan, for example, guys like Matuidi, Bentancur, and Pjanic didn't play the whole 90. I mean, they only played 60. So okay, they have 30 minutes left to less to get to know each other, to work together, and so on, because there will be substitutions, there will be always rotation. So again, the 5 subs thing, I think it's personally, I think it's okay, just because we know this will be a crazy end to the season, and we need all the bodies we can get, and that's why the 5 subs, fitness-wise, again, is making sense to me. But yeah, I can also see the point why it could be a disadvantage playing-wise.
I also think that if we have more not injured player like Ramsey last game, like Chiellini and stuff like that, we can also use them. Higuain, we also didn't have that many opportunity to put people in. Our changes weren't the best one in a way. If we had better players, probably they will be much more, beneficial for the team in a way, in my opinion. What about you, Marcin?
Yeah, I mean, I think the subs is going to be an advantage. I don't think it's a disadvantage to have 5 subs, because kind of how Roman said, we're going to be playing a game every 3 days and starting next week. So once that hits, you're going to be wishing for 10 subs, just to be able to rotate people in and have fitness. So yeah, at that point, maybe in these first 2 games to kind of figure out, it might be a disadvantage, just because it's the first time we've ever had this kind of rule in place. But I think in 2-3 weeks, people are going to be like, yes, I'm so happy we have this, so we can rotate this team in and out, because if Ramsey goes down or if anybody else goes down, we're going to have a lot more issues. So to keep these guys fresh and make sure that Ramsey and Douglas Costa and all these injury-prone players are on the pitch, they're going to have to rotate a lot more. So once those 5 subs are going to be really a lot more coming in handy in about 2-3 weeks, once we're in the middle of our streak of playing every 3 days at that point.
Just a small comment. Nobody said that we must use 5 subs.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, so that's also a thing. You can choose. You have an option to go with 5 subs. Like Sarri, the genius that he is, didn't use 5 subs. He only used 4. So the 5th would be my favorite buddy, who stayed on the pitch for 90 minutes. But that's the coach's choice, how to do things and how to rotate. And he chose 4. And in the end, it went okay. But as the further season goes, and there'll be more injuries, there'll be more fitness issues, 5 subs will most probably be used every single game.
Yeah, I think so too. Now let's move on. I know that, we all know that Pjanic and Bentancur played in the same position in different parts of the game. I want to know if you guys think who performed better in that Regista position during the Milan game.
Who performed better? I personally just liked how Bentancur would play better, just because I feel like he's just so much more energetic, and he tries to drive and really press the ball up the pitch. Once you saw, especially in the first half, you just saw him in the final third just pressing everybody, and I really like the energy and the runs that he makes. He's just going to be relentlessly pressing. He's just going to give you so much energy. He's 21. He shouldn't have a problem running around for the whole 90 minutes. But yeah, I was really impressed. Not really impressed, but I like the style of play that Bentancur gives you versus Pjanic. Because whenever I just watch Pjanic now, I feel like he's very lethargic on the ball, and he's just kind of doing these little sideways passes, and he's not really driving the attack forward. While when Bentancur plays there, I feel like he's trying to get the ball up the pitch as high as possible and trying to look for those key passes to try to unlock a defense. And that's what I really like about Bentancur's style of play. So personally, in that role, I like Bentancur better, just for the energy and that forward drive that he has and the creativity that he's attempting to do in the final third of the pitch. So definitely Bentancur for me.
Yeah, and also I totally agree with Marcin. No doubt about it. I also asked this question during my live. What is it that Rodrigo Bentancur What is it Miralem Pjanic does that Bentancur cannot do? I mean, Pjanic is essentially obsolete as soon as Bentancur is playing. There is nothing special about Miralem this season. So everything that Miralem does, Bentancur can do, and also much better. He actually can drive the ball forward, as Marcin says. He also can penetrate the opposition's midfield. He can make mistakes, of course, going forward. He can lose the ball, but at least he tries, And that's also the mentality as well. We can see that Pjanic was always kind of switched off. He wasn't even interested, and it was, for him, it looked like it was a preseason game. For Bentancur, however, of course, he played as a box-to-box in the beginning, but Bentancur ran like crazy the whole game, and that showed me that the guy wants to play, and also and that shows me that spirit, the grinta, something, I don't know, Vidal, if I can compare it to somebody, at least that game.
He's missing the goals, but he has the grinta. He was going so much in pressure. It was at a certain moment, it was even impressive. I loved it.
And also that's also the good thing that he did that, because I asked myself a question also. Okay, we're talking about fitness, we're talking about preseason friendly or whatnot about this game, but Bentancur looked sharp. Bentancur looked match ready. Bentancur looked 100%. So why cannot Cristiano be that? Why can't Dybala be there? Why can't Miralem Pjanic be there? So that's also, what did they do actually during the lockdown? So Bentancur came out stronger, for sure.
So I follow Bentancur on Instagram, and if you follow him on Instagram, you see that he was doing a lot of workouts, like training almost every single day. So he was posting like little videos of him doing workouts like every day. So he was like, to your point, like what you're asking is, I thought he was keeping himself in shape really well over the break, and that's what kind of we saw in the first match, that he was like, hey, I'm more ready than you are to play this game, and that's why I'm playing effectively. So
yeah.
Before going to midfield part, guys, and I'm playing some fun thing. A last question in a yes or no for all of you, starting with Martina. Will Bentancur be our most important player in this and the future? Yes or no? Without comment. Yes or no?
Yes.
Marcin?
I hope so.
Most important out of the whole team? I don't think so.
Roman?
Yes.
What about you, Giuseppe?
Yes, absolutely yes. So do some fun thing now. We go to the midfield part. And the midfield part, we start first revealing the big winner of our first prediction show. That's important, because when we win, we have to announce it. So do we have a big winner for the big prediction show that we started? I will show you the image that we had for this one's on Twitter. So guys, if you want to follow us on Twitter, we are also on Twitter, so go there. We do every time prediction games. So for the prediction time for Juve Milan, nobody of the Discord or Twitter or YouTube, nobody could find it, and now we are opening the new challenge, because we have another game tomorrow, and that will be this image where Napoli Juve prediction time. I already saw, I believe it was I Love Football a few comments ago who said that he believed the Juventus will win 2-1. So guys, if you want to win, go on Twitter, put your prediction there, and we will note all the prediction, and the winner will win. So that's about the prediction game, and then we have something else to share. A nice thing, I believe. Let me open it. I'm multitasking as a crazy guy with my small screen, but I try to do my best here. So we want to announce the opening of Discord. Discord is really an amazing app. I discovered it, I believe, last month. Discord is actually a kind of group divided and really well structured in a lot of Coppa Italia topics, Champions League, you have Serie A, you have funny things, you have so much things where you can interact with each other. We are present there with Martina. We already have a bunch of people that joined us also on Discord. So if you want to, you go on Discord. We will put the link after in the description. Martina, if you can also put it in the chat, that would be amazing a bit later, so that people can go and join us. So that was about the announcement of what we are doing with our social media platform. And now it's time for a nice game. So I will introduce the game. Go for it, Martina.
The link I just commented. I don't know if it's there yet in the chat.
Right.
And it's in the description.
Great.
On or Twitter, everywhere.
And on Twitter, everywhere. So introducing the game, we have a nice one. We have like 10 minutes, max 15 minutes, where Marcin and Roman, they will together, after the game of Coppa Italia versus Milan, and we know what weaknesses we have. We know the strengths we have. We will do a game where together they will actually build. Let me open it. They will build the new 2021 team, a realistic team. I will put it bigger in a few seconds so that you can follow it also. But they have 100 million budget. It's transfer market time. They have to say in the third column, who do we keep, who not, who do we realistic think we will buy. So if they want to buy Mbappe, why not? But Mbappe has a price tag of 200 million euro, if not 220. So it will be starting to be difficult. So that's what for the 10 next minutes they will try to do together with us. Put also in the comment to help them. Who do you think we have to buy? In the midfield, in the defense, in the attack, go for it and try to help so that it's a kind of interaction. The guys will try to read the comments. I will try to pin them also. So now Sufyan is saying that he loves the management game. So it's a nice game, I hope. So let's start from now on. I will put the list bigger, going through it. We have the goalkeeper part. Actually, it's not that one. Let me close that one. Sorry, I opened the good file where we have it better. That's the one. Here we are. More beautiful, right? So we have the goalkeeper with the value next to it. Then we have the defenders. All the defenders are there. We have the midfielders, and then we have the attack. Guys, as the screen is not big enough, tell me when I have to go bigger, smaller. If you want me to tell you the values, let me know so that I can manage it offline. You have the show, guys. Go for it.
You can start, Marcin.
Okay. Well, goalkeepers, I don't think we're changing anything in any of the three spots. I think these are going to be the three keepers that we have next year. So Wojciech Szczęsny stays, Gianluigi Buffon stays as the backup, and Pinsoglio stays at the third keeper spot. So I don't think that anything there is changing. I'm assuming you'd agree with me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There is no reason to change it. But let me ask you, are we doing this one of us each, or are we doing the team together?
Together, yeah.
We try to do together.
As a team.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay.
So what do you have incoming for defenders?
Well, since I thought we were doing it separately, so
we can do separately if that's easier. Let's try with let's
because we didn't talk in advance, So I was like,
yeah.
Okay. No. I mean, I think that in defense coming in, there would only be Pellegrini.
Okay.
And that's it. Out for me, let's see who I got. Out De Sciglio.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
So I had, just to give you my half of the defense, I had the same thing, Tichilio out. And I had Pellegrini coming in. That was my other swap. But I used some of my transfer budget to make a little purchase in defense, and I purchased Ricardo Pereira from Leicester City to be the new right back.
Yes, I like that.
So that is the move that I made.
Okay.
Like that.
What's his price tag, Martina? You know?
I think it was like 16. Let me double check. I think Pereira is with a I.
Yeah.
Not with a Y.
Yeah, for sure.
Pereira.
Danilo would not like that.
No.
Oh no.
And who do we put out? Danilo?
Actually, well, transfer market value is 35.
Whoa.
But
Guys, if we want to be easier, let's start with the Marcin one so that he has his list, and then we do the Roman one. That will be much quicker and faster.
Sure.
Yeah.
So who do you put out? Tichilio, and you have Pereira in, and who else do you put out?
Well, that's it, because you don't have. Well, I will have. So we'll keep going. Midfielders, yes. So I have Pjanic leaving.
Yes.
So Pjanic leaving, that's my out. And then I have coming in would be Hassam Ouar from Lyon, and he's valued at, I think, 45 million, if I remember transfer market correctly.
Let me double check.
Yeah, double check. But I thought it was around 45, 50.
Let's do approx 50.
54?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 50, yeah.
And then I had Artur from Barcelona coming in also.
Like that.
Okay.
And Arthur has a value of, I believe it was 52 million.
Yes.
Out of.
Let me double check. 61.
61. It's going up, and we will count later if you are in your budget of 100 million.
I don't know. We'll see.
Who else do we put out?
The rest stays.
Rabiot too?
Yeah. Hold on. I might have to make a cut depending on my budget.
Okay.
Maybe. Maybe I have to make a cut.
Better make.
Yeah, in the attackers, I am cutting Juan Cuadrado and Federico Bernardeschi. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I count him as a right back. He's not an attacker. That's why I use my cut from the defense.
True.
I love him.
That's why we do it separately, man.
Yeah, I know. So Cuadrado was my out. Federico Bernardeschi is my out also. Yep. I have, like I said, I'm trying to do realistic. So Milik was my striker coming in, Arkadiusz Milik from Napoli. His value was at 35.
Not because he's Polish, right?
No, it's not because he's Polish at all.
Sure.
No. we have some comments here, like the Belgian right back from PSG, Meunier. Unfortunately, Muslim, he just signed to Dortmund today, so for free. So he will join Dortmund, and it's a kind of realistic transfer market of Marcin. So we can't buy it anymore. It's too late. It's one day too late.
Yeah, we're late.
I want to add, yeah, it's probably that's euros. So we are doing dollars. So there's gonna be a little bit of
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah.
Can you tell me if I'm around 100 million right now?
So if I count everything, you are 50, that's 111, plus 35 is 145, plus 35 is 180 in,
Okay.
and you sell. Wait, and let me write that down. 180 in, and then you sell. 31 plus 16 plus 57 plus 11, let's say. Yeah, so that's 42 plus 16 is 8, 5 plus 5 7 is 15, 115, and yeah, so you You bought for 180 and you sold for 115. So that means you are in budget.
I am in budget.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so if I still have 35 million to play with, I'm bringing in Tonali.
Yep, vale.
Oh.
I'm in budget, so I'm buying Tonali. He's the extra buy, and then we can sell Blaise Matuidi.
Poor Matuidi. I love Matuidi.
I know.
What's happening with Rabiot?
He's staying for now.
Okay,
Sorry, sleeping with his mother.
For now.
fine.
I'm trying to make this team younger. Come on.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
If you think Champions League, I'm fine,
You're lucky I didn't buy Lewandowski.
bro. You're crazy.
I made a copy of that so that Roman can start from scratch. What are the people saying in the chat? I'm really curious before Roman starting. Do we agree with the new team of 2021 from Marcin? I know you had some hate with the Quadrado. That was not a good one to say. We had Mattia De Sciglio, the GOAT. I agree with that also. Bentancur is a killing machine. Pjanic is a ballerina. Milik, brilliant choice. So they agree with Milik. Some people I agree with that. Icardanara and Sufjan is not really 100% agree with you on your choice. Let's delete everything and start with Roman ones.
Impress us.
Let me go quickly through it so that we can start.
I agree with the Muslim comment.
What did he say?
No way, Cuadrado out.
Yeah, but you replaced Quadrado with Pereira at right back. How is that not an upgrade? That's a massive upgrade. That's fine. Don't say it's not.
I mean, I'd rather De Sciglio out and replace him for Pereira.
Okay, but who's the backup then? You got to keep a backup for the right back position. That's my point.
Danilo.
Quadrado is, yeah, but we paid a lot of money for Danilo last year. We're gonna lose money if we sell him a year later. That's why you can't move Danilo. Quadrado, if we sell him, he's already paid off. So anything we get on Quadrado is a positive influx of cash for the club.
Let's try with Roman. Your turn.
Well, you missed one player, by the way.
Which one?
It's such a shame. Kulusevski. Where is he?
Yeah, Kulusevski comes in for free. Let's put him here. Well, no, with the strikers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's a forward. Yeah, for sure.
I think
So
it's
that's for free.
okay.
Okay. So the goalkeepers. Well, we discussed already. No change. Yeah, I'm happy with all three of them. In the defense, as I also said, Pellegrini in, De Sciglio out, and let's see. Yeah, and that's it for the defense.
What about Rugani? You keep him?
I keep him because he's a perfect player to have. Doesn't sulk, doesn't play, minimal wages.
He takes 4 million salary. That's fine.
That's fine. We can use him in the preliminary rounds of Coppa. That's okay, and yeah, that's fine. And he's Italian, so that's a bonus, of course, for people. Yeah, and then we will get a bit crazy. This is just on top of my head. I didn't look at the Transfermarkt in regards to the players' value of those who are coming in. So you can do that for me. But let's start with the Miralem, the obvious one, the Miralem Pjanic. He will leave. We'll drive him myself, to either Lyon, PSG, or Atletico. Actually, I'm not so sure. So let's go with out Pjanic plus 20 million, for Aouar,
Okay.
for example,
Yeah.
or Verratti or Partey. But yeah, Aouar would be my first choice.
Okay.
54.
Yeah. 64. Yeah. I'll add 20 million also to Pjanic's deal because yeah, I'm just not.
So
Sorry.
you will sell him for 77, right?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
54.
Yeah.
No.
54 for Aouar.
Yeah.
No, I mean I will give them Pjanic plus 20 million, and they will give me Aouar.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So that
Yeah.
means that actually you arrive at 57. It's 77, right?
Yeah.
Pjanic plus 20. Okay.
Yeah. And then I would.
Actually, you need to just put 20 there.
Yeah, just put 20.
Yeah,
don't put
yeah,
27.
20. That's my out of those 100 that I was given.
Yeah.
The 20 are going to this deal. Yeah, and then Khedira out.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. And I will bring in Tonali for 60.
Good.
I would ship off Rabiot for 30. If that's 28, yeah, 30. I put 30. No one coming in.
Okay.
But in the attack, however, I would get rid of Gonzalo, Higuain. I would bring in, and this is a curtain. This is like a super crazy one. This is based on, best for kicks. I would get rid of Higuain, and I would bring in Edison Cavani for free.
Smart one.
If he doesn't come, I will use Milik instead. That was my backup choice. Why Cavani? Because I want to go all out for Icardi next summer.
I love that choice.
Because the transfer windows, the two next transfer windows are 50% to Inter, and I don't want to do that. So keeping Cavani for one season, he will play well as long as he can, but for one season only, and then he will go back to Uruguay or whatever, and then Icardi comes in. Yes, and let's see. I think that's about it, actually. No, sorry. No. I have a big one also. Bernardeschi out.
Yeah.
Yes. And do I have the Sciglio in for this one, by the way?
I believe he's still in. No, you already put him out.
I've already put him out. Okay, that's fine. Bernardeschi plus Di Sciglio plus 10 million. 4. And this is against my better judgment. This is the player I hate, one of the guys that I hate the most in Serie A, but we need a clean right winger.
Nainggolan.
Federico Chiesa.
Oh, no, my God.
Yeah, I know. But I believe we need a clear... I believe Sarri needs a clear right winger. And there is no better in Serie A than Federico Chiesa, even though I hate his guts. If he will not come, a cheaper version would be Cengiz Under.
Yeah.
Martin is killing me right now with his eyes. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
I believe, counting on head, you are still in budget. Guys, in the chat, if you can tell us which lineup you prefer between Marcin and Roman, that would be amazing, so that we see at the end who has the most votes. Go for it, Roman.
Yeah. I have to explain why I do what I do, because I'm trying to work on this Ronaldo, Dybala, Douglas Costa link up. Douglas Costa will stay for next season. Ronaldo must play on the left. He must not be used as a prima punta. That nonsense must be stopped. So use him on the left so that he can cut inside. That's it. And that's why I need Kulusevski on the right or on the left. Federico Chiesa would be on the other position. And, I have double cover for right back, left back, and the midfield would be Matuidi, Ramsey, Aouar, Bentancur, and Tonali. I'd say it's rather okay.
It's a beautiful one. We will try with Martina then to put a kind of lineup 11 so that we can also post it on Twitter and Instagram so that we can show it a bit. Guy, thank you. I'm curious to know what the direction are. Ask them to choose the coach as well. Yeah, maybe we can just ask, would you keep Sarri or would you change? Marcin.
And on tomorrow?
I'm changing it. If after the season I can, I'm changing it.
Who would you take?
Pep Guardiola, because he's not staying at City if they get that Champions League ban.
Yes.
Roman?
For sure, Pep.
Yeah, of course.
I will tell you one thing, guys. For me, I would keep 1 year more salary.
No, if you have the chance to get Guardiola, you get Guardiola.
I love Guardiola. I wanted him also, and I believe he can really put an extra thing on the mark, on the brand Juventus. So yes, absolutely. But we have Sarri, and I didn't want him in the beginning. We have him. I would go 1 year more. It's the end of his career. I believe he can show something, especially if he wins the treble this year, or maybe at that moment not, because then it's over. Then he can leave.
We'll see about that. Oh my God.
What about Gasperini before attacking the Napoli Juve game? No for Roman?
No, I mean he's okay, but I don't think he will leave. I think he likes Atalanta so much, and he's a perfect choice for them. It would be nonsense for us to start with Gasperini.
We go for the attacking part, Martina?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay. Tomorrow, finally, Juve is playing again. Haven't been a lot of days out, but I'm loving that we're playing so much now. So tomorrow, Coppa Italia final, the first Coppa Italia final for Sarri. I'm excited, honestly. Thank God we're in the final. Imagine if we'd lost that game against Milan. Oh my God. But thankfully, we're in the final. I'm happy. The rival, Napoli, they won against Inter. I don't know if you guys watched the game, Inter-Napoli. No, neither? Okay, so let's not even talk about it.
I watched just in a few seconds. Inter played better.
Yeah,
Inter played absolutely better. They were more in shape than Napoli and so on, but they have an amazing skill. It's counter-attack, and they were able to use it.
I think sadly Inter played better, but Napoli made it through. Honestly, I was expecting Napoli to pass in the final. So let's show the predicted lineup for tomorrow. I don't know if you can pull it up.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I want you to, Marcin and Roman, to give me your thoughts on their lineup. That's the predicted, so we don't know how they will really start. And if there are any changes that you would make from the beginning, depending on this one, obviously.
Any changes that I would make, I would honestly keep it the same as what's listed right there. I really liked Ronaldo, Costa, and Dybala as that front three. You saw, especially with Costa for the 60 minutes, he was just making runs after runs, trying to take people on and doing what he does best, which is dribble. So I would keep the attack as is because I really liked it and I want to see more of it. I think that's our best attack right now that we can get on the field. So I would keep that as is. That's fine with me. I'm keeping the midfield the same thing there. Matuidi, Pjanic, and Bentancur. Maybe Pjanic gets out of a funk and he plays a better match. Bentancur as that right-sided box-to-box was just like in the last game, just so much energy, so much pressing. Like I really like that. And obviously Matuidi does that defensive coverage side for the left that Ronaldo and Costa don't really do. So, I mean, I'm keeping that same. And then, the defenses, Danilo played a really great match, so I don't drop him just because he's clearly on form. So he had a really good game. Keep him there. Bonucci, Dilic, Sandro, and then Buffon's been playing in all the Coppa games. So, I mean, I would keep all of that the same. I wouldn't really change anything. So that lineup stays for me.
What about you, Roman?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, maybe just change up. Well, for sure, I would change up the front line. I would not put Ronaldo as a prima punta. I would put him on the left. I would put Dybala in the hole, and I would put Costa on the right. That would be yeah. But other than that, I'll be totally okay. Yeah.
But I would change, guys.
The thing is, you got to remember all those, like, none of those three guys are going to stay in that position all game. Like Costa, Ronaldo, Dybala, don't, like, just because it's on the lineup doesn't mean that's where they're going to play. Like, Ronaldo's going to drift wide, Costa's going to come in right, Dybala drops deep, and then he moves all around. So all those three guys move around between the three positions all match. So they don't really stay there. So just because it shows Ronaldo as the 9 doesn't mean he's going to play as the 9, because he's not. But yeah, those positions are going to be interchangeable within all three of them.
Sarri said today that in the attacking offensive part, they go where they want. In the defensive part, then they have to stick to their positions.
Right.
Yeah, they could be like more creative in the last 30 feet of, 30 meter. I don't even know what was the measurement. Go ahead. I see you.
That is a lot of nonsense, guys. Really. Okay, here comes the rant. Now I'm pissed off because
oh my God.
Cristiano Ronaldo. If you watched the Milan game,
yes.
Yeah. If you watched the Milan game, you clearly saw that Cristiano Ronaldo destroyed everything for us while going forward. He changed positions he started on the left and suddenly he went into the center. There was nobody on the left taking up his position. So Alexander was left completely alone with spaces in front of him, nobody to play with. He was completely on by himself. So that was my issue with Cristiano going from the left into center. And also when he was in the center, he didn't really help out a lot. He was just standing there waiting for the ball. And when he got the ball, he didn't really play the ball that quickly with the other guys as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 touches before he actually made something actually productive. And it is very hard for guys like Cristiano, Douglas Costa, for Dybala, for Douglas Costa, for the midfield to know where Cristiano is, because he moves all over the place, and it's so hard to tackle when your player doesn't follow the simplest directions, if there are any. I mean, he says yes, fine. Sarri says that Cristiano can play wherever. I mean, okay, but then do some good about it. I mean, he was piss poor against Milan. It was absolutely. He will get 1 of 10 from me. He will, because absolutely every single time he did anything for us, he messed it up. Yes, the penalty miss maybe. Maybe affected it somehow, but I mean, you need to play with your teammates. You have Juventus plus Ronaldo against Milan. It's not Juventus 11 men against Milan. It looks like Cristiano Ronaldo is playing for Cristiano Ronaldo, at least in that game, and that pissed me off so much because guys like Costa and Dybala, they just don't know what to do with Cristiano. I'm not sure they even talk to him like, come on, man, let's play together. I don't think that happens. I think that Cristiano is allowed to do whatever he likes, and that is, well, it could be a good thing for us, but against Milan, it was just horrible, absolutely horrible. So, to me, the way that they move now is not an advantage. It's actually disadvantage because there is no tactics behind it. They can just do whatever they want.
I agree with you. For me, he played really bad. He started like 10 minutes normal, not wow, but normal, 15 minutes normal. And then he missed that penalty, and mentally he went out of the game. He was nowhere anymore. And I had some discussions with people because they were telling me, yes, but he's not a 9. He has to play on the left. I said, I don't care. 9 left goalkeeper defense, whatever, if you have to do a pass from 1 meter distance or 2 meter distance and you are Ronaldo, you have to do a 100% pass there. You have to pass it in the feet of the player wherever you play, in the front, in the back, wherever. And that's something I had a lot of problem with. And it's not the first time that when he's mentally out of the game, the feel that all the team feels it, and you see it on the face of the players. That's not okay.
Yeah, one more thing regarding this Ronaldo nonsense. When he in the second half, when he had Diego Laxalt against him, and he turned him, he went to the advertisement boards, and then he did the Rabona cross. What was the point? That's the stupidest thing ever. On the other side of the pitch, Federico Bernardeschi was completely unmarked, completely open. But no, Cristiano needs to do Cristiano things. Needs to do it fancy. Needs to do it super fancy. Just because he is Cristiano. And I didn't see a single soul out there who criticized Cristiano for that. Of course, it's a first game. We are already in the final. We knew that Milan were basically not so dangerous. But look at your teammates. Federico Bernardeschi could have scored there.
Yeah.
There were even people that were praising him for doing the.
Yeah, but that's Cristiano fans.
Yeah.
And that's a bunch of nonsense.
Abdul Ghani is saying something really right, and we know I watch all the games with my brothers, with my father, and a lot of time, because my brother, they are not a big fan of Ronaldo. I am more, I like Ronaldo. They are a bit less. But every time I pray that Ronaldo score as fast as possible, because I totally agree with Abdul Ghani, who is saying Ronaldo needs a goal just for him to relax mentally. And that's so true, because when he score quite fast in the game, then you see a total different Ronaldo. If it start to not scoring and becoming frustrating, it's a problem.
And also the team tries to help him to make that happen sometimes, where that's not the best option. For example, the cross Khedira was not the best option out of there.
Of course not.
It was the perfect one.
But this is the comment that you just highlighted. Why criticize for the cross? Because it was supposed to be to go to Bernardeschi, not to freaking Khedira. What is this?
Oh my
Why are we always praising? Why are we always defending the guy? Call it like it is. He is a Juventus football player. He didn't play well, so we are allowed to criticize him. I mean, he's not a god. He's just a football player. He didn't play well. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, the cross was nice, but it was not meant to be done in that moment and the way it happened.
No, to chill down, Hermias.
I'm sorry.
No. But I think it's totally correct what you are saying, because I'm supporting that, Roman. But to explain to Hermias, it's not, and that's really important. I believe, and also the people that are in the chat are the coaches today. We are not pro Ronaldo. We are not against Ronaldo. We are supporting Juventus. And I think that's really important, to support the team and to be honest and able to say he missed a game, but that can be about De Sciglio or Ronaldo, or he played really well. And that's really, really important to say. And I totally agree, when you see that action at that moment, Bernardeschi is alone. And maybe and probably he would have missed it, but he was so alone at that moment. Ronaldo didn't have to do that Rabona. For me, that was a nonsense pass. And if you do it like that, put a bit of power in it just to open it to Bernardeschi. That's the thing.
But of course, Cristiano fans will always highlight that Rabona. That's it. Hermias, fine, perfect, well done.
And someone said I would sell Ronaldo. No,
I would not sell him neither. That's I can criticize, but I would not sell him. Roman is not agree with that.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's fine. But I'm thinking who would buy him? Who had the finances to buy this guy, and who would actually want to focus the whole team on one player, that is Cristiano Ronaldo, because that's what we do. Yeah.
Showtime, Marcin.
All right. I've been quiet for the last 5 minutes. Okay. First of all, here's I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible. One, when you as a teammate are playing in an offensive three with a main player that's the focal point of your offense, and you're making runs, and you know that you're going to be rotating, it's your job as another forward to cover that space. So that's a whole thing that you shouldn't be really bashing Ronaldo for, that, oh, he moved into this space and then he left the flank wide open. You as a forward, so I've played as a striker all my life. So you as a striker, if you know that you're not occupying a space that you're supposed to be, your teammate has that responsibility to move over into that spot that you're now not occupying. That's the first thing. So when somebody sees that Ronaldo's moving more central, Costa or Dybala, whoever wants to, they should see that, oh, he's now occupying that space. I need to shift over to cover that room. So that's the first thing. So that's the way I've been coached. That's the way I've played for decades now, at least, because I'm getting fucking old. So that's that first part. And the second part is, yeah, you're criticizing the Rambona. Like, I'm not any Cristiano fanboy, but here's the thing when it comes to skill moves. So I'm very for skill moves, and like, imagine that came off. That's a different conversation that you're having right now. It's not about, like, it's about the thought that, hey, like, I'm going to try to do something that's creative. Like, that's the whole point of playing football, to be creative, to try new things. Do you think, remember that Pogba goal that he scored from 35 yards out that he just bent into the corner? What if he never tried that? Would that ever go in? So that's the whole point. You attempt those things that some people think, oh, that may be a stupid move to do, or that's not the right move. Okay, who cares? But if it comes off, it's amazing. That's the whole point of playing football. You play to be entertained. You play you play like you want to. Like, if I go out and play, I'm going to play like I want to. Like, that's my style. And it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like, Cristiano is the main focal point of this team, whether you like it or not. Like, you can say that, you could say you love him, you could say you like him, you could say fanboys, whatever. He's the guy, he's the main player of the team. He's one of the best players in the world. You're going to build the club around him. So at the end of the day, he's going to do whatever he wants. And the other players have to realize that and take up either the space that he was supposed to occupy, and they're going to have to get used to that. Douglas Costa does skill moves. Dybala does skill moves. All these players rely on doing some kind of trickery at some point. Who cares if it wasn't the right move? It doesn't matter. You want your players to have that freedom to be able to try these things out. That's the whole point. That's why you play football. That's why you watch football. So that's my issue with that. I don't care that he did it at that moment, if it was the right move, because that's what you want to encourage your players to do, especially high quality players. You want them to have that freedom. Like, hey, if you want to do a skill move, do it. Like, that's the whole point of you being on this team. And that's the way I've been coached to play for my entire career. That's how I coach my players to play. Like, so yeah, you can have different opinions. Some people are raised differently to like football a different way. But like, I'm always going to defend like skillful players, and that's the way I've, like, just from my personal experience, how I've played and how I've coached, that's the way I'm going to do it. So I see both sides of it, but that's just my opinion on it.
Can I ask you one thing for you? If you had to give him not the score, but just saying, did he play well or bad versus Milan?
No. So like, honestly, he didn't have a great game. I'm not going to sit here and say he had an 8 or 7 or 10 out of 10 game. He didn't play well. His passes just weren't linking up. But like, that's beside the fact that you still, like, the positioning thing and like the whole, like, doing a skill move, that's completely different conversation. Like, yeah, he wasn't great, but even the best players have off days. Like I said, it's 3 months coming back off an extended break. Like, a lot of players didn't look good.
You know,
teams, like a lot of
where I believe that, and I join Roman on that one is, and that's, in the package Ronaldo. I mean, if a player has a bad game, that can happen to everybody. Because, I saw some comments, he's a machine. Yes, he's a machine. He's probably the best player in the world. Okay. And that's one of the problems. When he's not performing, you are not able to change him, because then you have a lot of problems. That happened in, I believe, November, December with Sarri, when he put him out, and there was a lot of polemics. It was crazy. And this is something that cannot happen for me. You are part of the team, and you can have a bad game or not. I believe in trying Rabonas. Like last year, Keane was doing an amazing control, with the sole of his feet. amazing thing. That's what we want to see in football for me. But then if he plays bad, he should just go out of the field, like versus Milan. Unfortunately, we have nobody to exchange him with because Gonzalo Higuain is out and we have nobody else. But that's my opinion.
Right, but if he's not playing, you need to have a backup option in terms of how the team plays. And Sarri doesn't have a backup option right now. So that's on the coach's job. That's your responsibility as a coach, as a manager of a team, to be like, hey, if my superstar doesn't have his A game that day, I need a backup option. So that's on Sarri to get his act together and come up with a plan B of either rearranging the formation or rearranging the style or rearranging the players in some different fashion to get the best out of the team when your superstar isn't playing the best. It's the same thing at Barcelona. Like if Messi has an off day, they have options and they can rearrange that attack to make it work for that day to get a W. I don't see that with Sarri. I don't see the plan B if we're losing a game or tying a game or if we're not playing well. I don't see that option. So that's what he needs to figure out. And especially with Ronaldo on the team, like since it's like you said, it's built around one player, but you still need to have options when your one player isn't working.
Yeah. Thank God Higuain is back in the list for tomorrow's game.
He will not play. Go Roman, and then I have a last question for that topic. Go Roman.
Yeah. There needs to be a balance between finesse and effectivity. I don't know how you say it in English, but efficiency, right? So the Rabona thing, totally unnecessary at that point of time, in my opinion, because you can just cross it. We know very well that Cristiano is good with both left and his right. Use your left, cross it to Bernardeschi, 1-0, 70% of the time. No, he needs to do Rabona at the very crucial moment when we had the advantage of the numbers going forward. So he destroyed basically the attack for us with that Rabona. Say Douglas Costa. Douglas Costa is doing his elastico, at least 2 or 3 times, 2-3 times per game. But it's never ever in a very critical moment where we are in advantage, with the 5 against 4s or whatnot. He always does it when there is a backup behind him if he fails. I don't think he thinks about it, but that's just when it happens, With Cristiano, it's always 2 or 3 times too many, too unnecessary. Destroys the fluid. We get the boys forward. We are 3 against 3, and then Cristiano starts with stepovers. And then we lose the momentum with Dybala, with Douglas Costa on the other flank. Not always, but it happens. It happened against Milan, and with Rabona, for sure it happened when we were 5 against 4. And I'm surprised that Bernardeschi wasn't pissed off at him, because that was like his moment. He could have that moment could have been the Bernardeschi moment that we've all been waiting for. The Bernardeschi goal. We love Bernardeschi, No, it never happened because Cristiano. Well, I'm sorry, this will be a controversial, but Cristiano thought of Cristiano at that time. That's it. I get the point of Marcin that if your finesse is, you must be allowed to do that, but you need to choose the moments when you do it. That moment was not the moment.
Great. I just put that Ronaldo is divinely coaches and the chat, because everyone also in the chat is commenting. Some people say we are keeping a man to put in a museum. Other one are saying it's really great and the greatest ever, and we need him. So I know that Ali Beba, I'm right. I'm reading your comments. I think Ali is really against Ronaldo. So you love him, you hate him. That's my opinion. I'm so grateful for what he did for the team, because as a brand marketing man, he did a lot. Last year also, at a certain moment when they started to be there in shape, the guy was unstoppable. And I'm sure we are speaking a lot now against him, but wait tomorrow, wait Serie A. I'm sure he will again be the man, because don't forget, he's the one that scored 21 goals for us. Is he taking a lot of goals from the rest of the team? Probably, but that's a discussion. Maybe we can arrange one day Ronaldo, and we can be on with 6 people, 3 for Ronaldo, 3 against Ronaldo, and we can have a beautiful debate about that.
You can have 5. You can have 5 pro Ronaldo and 1 anti Ronaldo, and I'll be happy to be the one. No, I'm joking.
Guys,
I bought his joystick, really. So
a last question, because it's Ronaldo and that's a topic, but tomorrow we play Napoli, Juve, and I take a few seconds over, Martina. Sorry for that, but what do we have to pay attention? In a quick answer, what do we have to pay attention, and how do you think the game will finish? Difficult, easy? Will we win? Will we lose, or will we go to the penalty shootout? Marcin, you start.
So things to watch out for is, I'm just going to obviously mention the attack of Napoli with Mertens and Callejon and Milik if he plays. I mean, it's a very potent attack. That's going to be the focal point of really kind of like where this game's kind of what happens without this game. De Ligt and Bonucci are going to be under pressure with like the runs that Callejon and Mertens make and Milik in the midfield. So that's definitely something I'm going to watch out for playing tomorrow. For all those guys that don't like Milik, maybe you can watch him play and see if he maybe like fits into Juve tactics. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, for my scoreline prediction, I'm kind of expecting a little bit more offense from both sides, especially if there's no red cards or anything like that. So I'm going to predict a 3-2 scoreline for tomorrow's game. I'm expecting more goals just because both teams are Napoli is very offensive minded. So I think they're going to push Juve to be a little bit more offensive as well. So I'm going with a 3-2 Juve win just for some excitement in tomorrow's final.
Remember, we are tied in the 90 minutes. It's penalty kick directly for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Roman.
Napoli, I think they will be more of like a counter-attacking sort of football. I don't know. I just feel that we will have the ball more than they do. And I think that Gattuso knows this. So he will prepare his team to compensate for that. And they will be a counter-attacking football. I don't know. I just feel that. It's really interesting to see how Fabian Ruiz does against us, because he's a really quality player in the midfield, as well as Koulibaly. Is he playing? I think he is.
I think he is.
Yeah. I think he was in a predicted lineup, yes. So
yes, with Maximovic.
Yeah. So it would be also interesting to see how good he is. If he fails, we win. Let's just put it that simple. I think if he makes a mistake or something, if he is not on 100%, then we have much bigger chance of winning. Maximovic, we have no problem with. I don't think so. But Koulibaly will be like the biggest challenge for us to get by, to pass, and also the guys up front, of course, is tough. I'm not too worried about Callejon anymore, because I think Alexander got him figured out after all these years. How to backtrack and how to actually mark him when he makes these famous runs. A prediction, 1-0.
Juve?
I'm not so sure. But yeah, let's go Juve. But I won't be surprised if we lose tomorrow.
Okay, so of that, if we lose tomorrow, do you think it's over for Sarri at Juve? Is that like what makes it definite for Sarri?
Do you mean if he gets fired?
I mean, not that moment, but
no.
At the end.
No, I don't. No. I don't think so. No. But he will for sure have much more criticism around him, for sure. I mean, if he ends up winning Serie A and the Champions League, I love Sarri, but I'm not sure. But again, my bet's 1-0 to Juve, but it could be either way. Maybe even penalty kicks,
Oh, I hate penalty kicks. What about you, Martin? Do you think this will matter on Sarri's future, if he wins or not?
No, because I think the Serie A is still the main thing that we're really focused on. So I think that's more the main priority for him as the coach, to kind of keep retaining these titles. So I don't think I think the Coppa is a great secondary kind of like prize. Like, let's be honest, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's Serie A. If he fails there, that's when you might hear more conversations of him being dropped at the end of the season. But I don't think it's the Coppa at this point. So, like I said, it all depends on what happens for the other 2 months of the season. But I don't think it's because of the Coppa.
Yeah. If I can answer to Muslim, because he asked me the question, if I will change my mind, I said in last live that we will win everything: Coppa Italia, Scudetto, and Champions League. So if we lose tomorrow, he's actually responsible for my loss in my prediction. So yes, I will change my mind about him. No, seriously, if we would have lost the Coppa Italia, in a normal situation, I would have considered that. But now, with what happened after 3 months home, after it's difficult to judge him on one game. It's not easy. And pay attention. I'm not a big pro Sarri. Absolutely, it's not that. It's just we have a coach, and my feeling is when you start a job, when you're hired in every job in the world, you have to do a mission, and it's difficult to be judged in the middle of your mission when it's not over yet. So I'm a pro. Finish the season, and if you didn't accomplish your objective, you're out. If you did, you're in. That's my point of view, but in everything, and not only with Sarri. So, dismissing someone in the middle of the season or changing my mind because we played a game after 3 months of we lost a game after 3 months of being at home, I would not. But that's one opinion now. Am I happy with what he did until now? No, not yet, because we saw glimpses. I love the 31st minutes of the game versus Milan, and then we disappeared. So we saw glimpses. There was something, but it's absolutely not enough at the moment.
I agree. Totally.
Do we go for the last part, Martina?
Yeah, let's go.
So, last part. Let me find except if Roman, if you still want to add something, go for it.
No. No, that's fine. Forza Juve.
Forza you, that's a good one. So I want to do a shootout for one of the fans that was writing on our YouTube page, and it's Colpo Gobbo. So let's share it. He is a man of a few words, but he said "bravi ragazzi." That means well done, guys. So that was actually his message to say that we were doing a great job in the last live. So thank you, Colpo Gobbo. I don't know if you see it now or in replay, but thank you for the message. That was really appreciated. Colpo Gobbo, for the people that speaks Italian, is a YouTuber. Big YouTuber. Is working also with the Juventus family, and he started also a Twitch channel, Melina Podcast, where I was speaking not only about Juventus but about all the football team. He just started yesterday for the first time. So if you have the chance to speak Italian, also go follow him, because they have really insightful things to talk about. So that was one point that I wanted to discuss. Then again, Discord. Don't forget. We have the Discord one. It's in the description, so you can find it easily. And if you want to be on the show, don't forget, because we have nice discussions like today when we talk about Ronaldo and so on. So if you want to be on for the next show, send an email. Find us on all the social media platform like Instagram or YouTube or Twitter, whatever. Go for it. Let us know so that we can also make the list and invite you. So before finishing, I want to thank Marcin. You were the first one to join today, so you have the right to start saying what you thought about the show and thanking the people that you want. So go for it, Marcin.
Yeah, so first off, I'd like to thank you guys for having me on for a back-to-back episode. I really like doing this, and for anybody who's hesitating about asking to jump on the show, do it. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for everybody who's been commenting. I've been trying to read the chat comments also during the show. So thank you for everybody who's commenting. You guys are doing an awesome job, and thank you for obviously being here. If you want to talk more with me, you can either listen to our podcast. It's at @TopEndsTalk_ on Twitter, or Top Ins Talk on Instagram. You can find our podcast on Spotify or on iTunes, or you can message me directly if you want to chat with me personally. It's at PLUventino on Twitter. And you can chat with me about anything. I'll literally debate about anything football related. Or if you want to be a guest on the show moving forward, or you have any topics that you want me and Tim, my co-host, to talk about, I would love to. So thank you once again for having me on, and I can't wait to be on another episode. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Here we have Roman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just watching the Barca game now, and Messi just schooled 6 Leganes players and got a penalty. Wow, amazing. He is a good, for sure. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for having me. Sorry for my rant, but you love it. You know you love it. And I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again sometime. Thank you so much for having me, to Giuseppe, Martina, to Marcin. I mean, this is good fun. Talk Juventus, talk with Juventini, having fun, discuss, and of course, follow me tomorrow on my live for the Napoli against Juve. I will have 2, maybe 3 guests on with me to watch the show, to watch the game. Yeah, we'll see. Great fun. So we'll be live. So Juve Therapy is the place to be tomorrow if you are not able to, well, watch the game live yourself.
You will definitely have fun watching him go crazy.
Martina, thank you. You were an amazing host again. I hope the people in the chat loved it. We will do it every week. Normally, we plan to do it next Tuesday again. So, and maybe if we win tomorrow, we do a special one before in the weekend. So we will come back to you. But if we win tomorrow, and I hope we will win, we will do a special mini live that can be fun, and that maybe we can have even more people on the chat to celebrate that win as we have to. Thanks to all. Grazie. Forza Juve.
Forza Juve.
Forza Juve.